Apple's Watch now a mobile phone, too. At its iPhone launch in California, Apple said the new version of its watch, known as Series 3, would contain an SIM that would let it be used as 4G phone, similar to the Watch 2 released by the Chinese phone maker Huawei earlier this year. Apple Watch owners will be able to make and receive calls, stream Apple Music audio tracks directly from the internet, use third-party apps such as WeChat, and use Apple Maps for navigation, all while leaving their iPhone at home. The feature could be very handy for people going for a run, or heading to the beach, Apple said. But in order to squeeze the 4G mobile phone onto the watch without making it much bigger than the previous model, Series 3 will only be 2 sheets of paper thicker than the old Series 2 watch, Apple said. It used a tiny electronic SIM, rather than a traditional SIM card, for 4G connectivity. Ordinarily, that would have been bad news for Australian customers. Until Apple entered the market, Australia's mobile phone companies refused to adopt eSIM technology, meaning the watch wouldn't work here. But hours after Apple announced the new version of the watch, Telstra announced that it would finally allow eSIMs on its network, through a new offering known as Telstra One Number, which would allow phone owners to use mobile-enabled wearable devices, keeping the same phone number as their main mobile phone. Telstra didn't mention the Watch Series 3 specifically, but it did say that Telstra One Number will be made available to Telstra customers on a range of upcoming devices. That same issue has prevented other smartwatch makers, such as Samsung, from bringing 4G-enabled watches to Australia. In order to release a 4G watch in Australia, Huawei was forced to add an old-fashioned SIM to its Watch 2, which added to its bulk. The new Series 3 version of the watch will still have new features that will be available to Australians on networks that don't yet support eSIMs. However, heart rate monitoring will be greatly enhanced in the new model, which will now use accelerometers to determine if the wearer appears to be resting and which will notify the wearer if his or her heart rate unexpectedly increases while resting. Similarly, the heart rate monitor will now detect abnormal heart rates known as arrhythmias, where the heart beats at an unsteady pace, and will warn the wearer if arrhythmia is detected, potentially giving them an early warning of conditions such as atrial fibrillation, Apple said. Those features will initially be available only to American users, however, as part of a study Apple is conducting with Stanford University's School of Medicine. The cellular version of the Watch Series 3 will start at $559, and the non-cellular version will start at $459. Both will be available from September 22. Read more. http://www.afra.com/technology/Apple's Watch now a mobile phone to 20,170,912 JIG 72U #Xs 4 SIVPT. Follow us at Financial Review on Twitter, Financial Review on Facebook,